In this video, I'll show you how to do the shim drawing. Make sure your ortho is on, your object snap is turned on. So I'll start with a 9 by 7 rectangle. So that's the basic overall shape. And then I'm going to use my offset tool. It's going to ask you for the offset distance. In this case, I'm going to use 1 inch. Now I know that was like the previous example. These are simple examples, but the process works regardless. Select the object to offset. So again, I've got a lot of offsets and they're all 1 inch, so I can just keep offsetting. Now I don't need the quantity that or it's not the same as that previous drawing that great. But okay, I think I got everything I need. Hit escape to finish that. I'm going to use my trim tool, and again I have a lot of trimming to do, so I'm just going to draw a window, hit enter because I've selected all my cutting edges, and now I want to go around and trim off the things that I don't need. Now remember, trim will only reduce a line, it won't make it totally go away. So if there's lines that you need to totally eliminate, you may have to come in after the fact and just erase those. Okay, so for example that one, I'm gonna have to come back and erase that. So I'm trying to be clever here where I don't, same thing with those pieces, I'll just have to erase those. And if you mess up and trim off the wrong thing, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, that's as much trimming as I can do. I'm going to hit escape, and then I'm just going to go to my erase tool and just go around and erase the little bits that are left over. So there's more than one way to draw this, obviously, but again, my recommendation is don't be sitting there drawing little pieces of line segments trying to create this shape. Especially, this is simple dimensions. You can get away with that technique on simple shapes. But when they get more complicated, you're going to need to use these offsets to get the accuracy that you want. Let's see, on this drawing, it's going to be 2 decimal places. Remember, the default always starts with 4. So let's go to our dimension styles, primary units, and we'll make that 2 decimals. And let's go ahead and put our dimensions on there. I'm going to kind of follow that handout. That's the way it's dimensioned. Remember, start with your shortest dimensions. Get sidetracked there. Okay, so make sure you're clicking on these outside corners so that you get those gaps. Remember, we talked about creating those gaps on your dimension. So, for example, if you were to click on these 2 corners, you got a gap here, but none there because I clicked on that corner. So think a little bit about that when you're laying out your dimensions. Now on that handout, no, we're fine. Everything's fine. And remember, try to line up dimensions whenever possible. It just makes it easier to read. And also don't dimension on the object. Now you'll notice on the handout it does have a dimension, an internal dimension here. It's dimensioned. Like this seems perfectly innocent and okay, but do not dimension on the part. Take that dimension and pull it outside. That's the way you want to do it. And again, I can see those gaps between the corner and where the extension lines are. And I think I just need that overall. Now, see this? This is not good. I'm going through my extension lines. I'm going through my dimensions. So I need to do something different. Now, this is okay. Not fabulous. Better like this. Just don't crowd the part too much. Less crossing that you do. Now, sometimes, obviously, you're going to have to cross sometimes through your extension lines. Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. Let's put our name on there. So use text function, draw a text box. And this is called the Shim 1-3. Close the text editor. Let's go to our layout. We'll have to adjust the border. So bring your cursor out here, double click, and then come up and over. Over and down. Remember, stay away from that hidden line. That's the limits of the print. Double click in there and you can just get it centered and get it exactly the way you want it. We'll save it. Make sure you put it in a folder where you know where it's going. And I always save the drawing and then I'll make a PDF out of it, then export it as a PDF. We'll use the same name, put it in the same folder, but now it's going to have a PDF extension on it. That's what you'll turn into me.